Hey guys, Tramp Renegade. Welcome back to the channel. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers, and definitely a thank you for everybody who's stuck with me this far. I want to start this video by mentioning I still do have plenty of stickers. If you haven't seen these Tramp Renegade stickers, they are my channel stickers, and I've got plenty of them. And if you're just joining me, you'll know that I'm selling these stickers in order to buy a Jackery or a Gold Zero for the camper. But this video, I want to kind of go around the camper and the truck and do like a walk around and measurement video. A lot of you have been asking for a final walk around video, and you've been asking about some measurements on the trailer. So I'm going to do a little walk around first, and then after the walk around I'll do the measurements. I'll start with the trailer and then I'll move on to the truck. Alright, well, here in the front I have a lock and roll hitch, and this hitch assembly allows articulation every single direction. The advantages of having a lock and roll hitch are the ability to go off-road and not get your ball hitch in a bind. Having this hitch allows just a little more flexibility. So I did go with that. That piece is a little pricey. You buy the two separate sections, and one is about $170 and the other one is about $125. So but I was willing to go that route. I do have a 2-inch coupler on the front here. I can take this whole hitch assembly out. I can put just a regular 2-inch ball hitch in there if I choose to do that. I've got chains that are adjustable. I do have a few extra links. If I ever raise the truck or change a little bit of that, some way I can adjust those chains if I need them a little bit longer. The next thing I have is this jack here. Now this jack, it is a swivel jack. It does swivel down. I can raise the trailer up with this jack on the front. That helps me kind of level the trailer if I unhook it from the truck. It also helps roll it in the garage, roll it around, move it if I need to move it. That picked up at Harbor Freight. It was silver, but I just spray painted it black to match everything else. So the next thing I want to talk about is my frame. A lot of you asked about my frame and how it was built, and I did have a friend of mine build that frame to my specs. I do have a video of the frame itself. If you want to see that video, just look back through my videos. But it's 2-inch steel, square tubing. The axles are Timbren 3,500 pound axles. They are rated for 3,500 pounds. Now the trailer is definitely not 3,500 pounds, but in order to get the hubs that I wanted to match my truck, I did have to go with the stronger axle there. If you'll see down here, I have a hitch in the back. I've got scissor lifts on each side, and then there's a better shot of those axles. I hope you can see those there, but they're independent suspension. I've got all my wiring ran through the trailer there and then up into the camper itself. That just goes to my lights there. So yeah. Alright, moving on to the next part of the trailer, we have the door. This is a Vintage Technologies. It's a 26 by 32 door. It's 26 inches wide, it's 32 inches tall, and it is just big enough for what I need. You can see it goes pretty much up to the top, and it does go down to the bottom. Here's the mattress. You can see I've only got about 2 inches right here inside. So that door I did buy, and basically just cut a hole in the side and stuck that in. So I didn't fabricate this. I will say one thing I did to this door when I got it. There's these little wedges here that keep the door aligned when you close it. It just kind of aligns it within the framework there, but they were just kind of glued on, and I noticed I could move them around. That glue wasn't real tight, so I did screw these into the door. I drilled a pilot hole and then screwed those in just to keep them in place. So up top here I have a Skylight, and this is just a cheap Skylight that I got off Amazon. I say cheap, I think it was about $50. I can't remember exactly. It was 40 or 50 bucks, but I just cut a hole, stuck that on there, and then used some lap sealant to kind of seal it up, and it adds a little extra light inside the camper, and it allows you to see the stars at night, which is kind of cool. Alright, well, moving on to the roof rack. This roof rack is just for a van, like a cargo van with the gutter clamps. I did take the little gutter bracket off, and then I flipped this around, and what that did, that allowed this little tab here to sit on top of the trailer, and then I was able to through bolt it to the trailer. So I've got two of those. I got one here, one here. When I did bolt it together, I did use little eye bolts, and this is going to allow me to strap stuff onto it a little easier, or maybe use some tie down, some ratchet straps, maybe even hang a lantern at night. Who knows, but any hooks you can get always come in handy. The next thing I have is a 3-speed fantastic fan. Now that and a couple lights that I have on the inside, those are going to be powered by a jackery, and that's why I was selling those stickers. But that right now it's not hooked up to anything. There's no power. I don't have a jackery, I don't have a battery, I don't have any type of solar system on this trailer at the moment. But it is pre-wired and ready to go once I do get one. Alright, so moving on to the back, I do have this hatch here, and if you'll see, I did order this. It was white. I do have some scuff marks where I did spray paint this. I spray painted it black, but it's got some chips off of here where it's starting to come back through, so I'm going to have to scuff that and repaint it, maybe try some different paint, because the paint that I used didn't stick too well. But anyways, it's a fiberglass door. It's 24 inches tall by 36 inches wide, and everything that I'll show you on here, I have a link in the description, but it's just a cargo door for like a Class A or a camper. It's got a latch here on this side. It's got a keyed lock on this side, so I can lock my storage up. You can get them with a lock on each side. I just opted for the one lock. But once you open this up here, I did add a gas strut here. You can buy this kit on Amazon. I think the one I got was a little too short, so I'd like this to go up a little bit higher. I might be able to adjust it some, but I think I just need to get a longer shock and reinstall. But it works for me for now anyways. But it's sealed pretty well. It's got a bulb seal here, a foam seal. I have washed the camper. I've had it out in the rain, and I haven't got a single leak back here. One thing you might keep in mind though is adding a gutter right here, something to divert water away from that hinge. That might help with water, but so far it's been fine. This is what I call my trunk area. I do have quite a bit of storage back here. You can see I've got my water container, I've got my it's just a milk crate, and I've got my little camp shower that I've made out of a bug sprayer. My kitchen, outdoor kitchen, it fits down in here pretty snug. I keep that down there. I also keep the tools for the jacks underneath the trailer, which I'll show you here in a second. But yeah, it comes in handy. I can actually fit quite a bit of gear in here, and I don't have much in here right now, just because I'm not camping at the moment. I'm just making this video show you the storage, but I've got quite a bit of room back here. There is no light in here, but my electrical fuse box is right on the other side of this, and basically it's just wired to like a 12-volt plug. And if you look back at some of my other videos, you'll see that a little more in detail. But I can plug this into a jackery, Goal Zero, something like that. You know, I've made the cord long enough where I can have the battery just about anywhere. Alright, so one more thing I wanted to show you is I do have a little hole here that it's basically just like it's one of those things like on a computer desk where you can run wires through, and that basically is to allow me to, you know, if I have a jackery in here at night, say I close up the hatch when I go to bed, I can have my battery in here, and I can run my wires down through, like my phone charger for instance, while I still have the fan plugged in with this. Now I can run this down there, put the jackery inside the cab with me, but I added that just to have that access of being able to run wires between this section and the sleeping section. Alright, now moving on to the wheels and tires. These are the same wheels as the truck. The tires are a little different tread. They are the same size, but they're not the same tread as the truck. because I got these used off of somebody that had bought new wheels and tires. I went with the same wheel and tire as my truck because that way I don't have to carry 2 spares. I can just carry 1 spare, which is underneath the truck where the factory location is, and if I have a flat on the trailer, I can use that spare. If I have a flat on the truck, I can use the same spare. The likelihood of me having 2 spares or 2 flats at one time is probably pretty slim, so that's why I chose to do that. These fenders are diamond plate fenders. I got them off of Amazon. I did have to modify them some. I cut them here in the corners and I bent them out just a little bit because they weren't quite wide enough for me, and then I just welded them back up. But you can kind of see a little closer. Let me show you here. I just bolted these fenders through the body here, and you can see the nuts on the inside. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, they're just bolted in there. I did go ahead and add some silicone right here, just because I didn't want any water that were to run down to get in those bolt holes and go inside the camper. The next thing I've got is my window here, and I can't remember the measurements offhand. I think it's a 18 by 24. It's an RV window. I got it off Amazon as well. It does open. It's got a screen on this side. You can take the screen out, you can leave the screen in, you can open it, and it does lock. So that's pretty much the outside of the trailer, other than the tail lights, but that's no big deal. They are LED tail lights and they are wired to the truck. Now let's go see inside the camper. Alright, so I get a lot of questions about if I can sit up in here, if I can lay down, and this camper is somewhat small. I think I've got 70 inches from the very peak up here to the footing down here, that bulkhead, but I do have room to lay down. Now this, like I said, this window opens so I can get some ventilation here. The window on the door, it opens, I can get some ventilation, and then this vent here. I do have a couple lights. Of course, I'm not hooked up to power right now. I've got one here, and I've got my shelf here, but I can sit up and I can lay down. This, I believe this from here to the floor is 39 inches. I'm 5'6". I don't have any problems sitting up. It's pretty comfortable. I do have room to lay down. I've actually got plenty of room. I have more room if I fit diagonally, but I fit in here just fine. So it's a little snug for 2 people, but me and my wife can both fit in here and not have any problems. This is a 4-inch foam mattress, and I believe the link to that is in my description below. Alright guys, so here is what most of you have been waiting for, the measurements of everything. So let's measure this camper out, and hopefully that'll answer some of your questions. Let's start with the length of the camper. There's 2 different lengths of the camper, obviously. There's the length of the body, and then there's the length of the trailer overall. Now, from this tip here to this tip here is, I believe it's 81 inches, but let me measure just to make sure. Okay, so I lied, it's 86 inches. So you've got 86 inches from here to here, which is just over 7 feet. And then this cut down along the bottom, this is actually the factory edge of the plywood, and then this right here is straight parallel with that, and then I did taper it down some in the front. So I'm going to measure from here to here and let you know what that sidewall measurement is. That right there is 40 inches. So you can get one side out of a sheet of plywood. I've got 85, 86 here, and then 40 there. So what I did was I started with a full sheet of plywood. I cut 85 inches. I just cut right off the edge, and then I cut the whole length. Right, I just cut 8 inches off the top. So that's what I started out with, and then I measured in a little bit here and made a diagonal in here. Alright, now for the total length of the trailer. I've got 136 inches total length from the tongue to the very back peak of the camper there. That is 136 inches. So if you divide that by 12, you get 11.3 feet. So it's a pretty short camper, less than 12 feet. You know, I could shorten it up if I wanted to. I could always cut that tongue down and just make it a little shorter. Alright, so I just measured that. That's 48 inches this way. The fender is 10 inches, and then you can kind of see the tire sticks out past the fender just a little bit, and that's 12 inches. So I've got 48 inches here, 12 inches on each side. That gives me a total width of 72 inches wide, so it's 6 feet wide overall. Now, one thing I didn't talk about when we were going over the sides is the height overall. So let's go back over here to the side and show you what that comes out to. To my frame, I've got 19 inches of ground clearance, and then I've got 2 more inches for the tubing, because I've got 2-inch tubing on top of here too. So, so to the bottom of my camper, I've got 21 inches, and then from here, we knew that we were at 40. So we've got 40 and 21. We've got 61 inches on the height of the body there. Alright, well, my truck is a 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road. I did paint the wheels black. I like the way they look black. There is no lift on this truck. I did go ahead and put some side steps, and I did add my soft topper in the back. But other than that, on the exterior, I really haven't done much. I did add an antenna for my CB in the back. I do have a CB up here on my dash, but that's really all I've done to the outside. I do plan to lift it, hopefully, if my wife will let me. My wife's a little shorter than me, so she is not crazy about me lifting the truck. That's kind of why I put the steps on the side, but I'm hoping I can kind of slide that lift on there without her noticing. I'm going to show you under the hood. I did go ahead and add an air compressor under the hood for letting air out of my tires and then reinflating them. It has come in handy multiple times. Even around the house, around the pool, we've aired up pool floats with it. So let me show you that real quick. Alright, so you can't hardly see it. I'll move the camera over to the side here in a second, but my compressor's tucked down in that little well over there. And I've got my air line that runs around to here and then into this box. Now, this box I got at Harbor Freight, and it's just a case. There's not much to it. It is waterproof, and I've got a quick disconnect on my hose over here. And the reason is that this box is just sitting here, and it's just pretty much velcroed to my fuse panel there. And so you got velcro on here, got velcro there. If I ever need to take this off and get to the fuse panel, I can. So that's not attached or anything. It just kind of sits there. There is plenty of clearance on the hood. It doesn't touch it. It doesn't mess with anything. So with that, when you open up the case here, I've got an air inflator for airing up the tires, and I've got a hose that basically, you can see, it just comes in that box with a quick connect, and there's one on that side, and then it just goes through to this side, and that's what my hose just plugs into. So basically it just sits in here. It plugs in. All my tools are right in here. They fit nicely in here. They're snug. That's there. It doesn't hurt anything. I can lock this if I wanted to, but there's really no need to. Alright, so I don't know if you can see this. It's just hard to shoot in here. But I do have a Pittsburgh Harbor Freight air compressor in here. I've just got it bolted to a stud that's in here by the, from the factory, and it's got a little switch on the back. So I've just got that wired to my battery. It's 12 volt. So that's my onboard air system. Alright, so inside my truck, I did take the seat out of the back. The back of the seat is still here. I just took the bottom out, and it allows me to fit my fridge just right in there snugly. I can open it up, I can get to it. I can't really move my seat back very far, but luckily I'm short and I've got plenty of room for my feet, and I'm comfortable driving. So I just chose to keep the fridge in the truck here rather than in the trailer, because I have my truck tent too, and sometimes I don't take the trailer out, I'll just take the tent, and this allows me to have my refrigerator. Right now I've just got water in it because it's hot. I'm doing a little yard work and landscaping and bush hogging and stuff like that, so I just keep water in the cooler, in the fridge. It runs off my battery. I don't have a deep cycle battery on my truck or anything. I've just got this plugged into a 12 volt outlet that I added, that stays hot all the time. The outlet in the dash, it's only powered up with the key on, so I've got this wired to a new 12 volt plug up by my dash there. It's actually the same one that my CB goes into, so I'll show you that real quick. I do need to add a plug back here just for this, but for now I've got it wired into the front. Alright, so hopefully you can see this, but I went ahead and I got the Midland CB, and this is the Midland, it's basically, you can take it off and it's got a battery pack that goes on it. It can be handheld, but you can wire it 12 volt and run it that way. So I've got this, I just have like a key ring here to hang it. I had a little hook on my windshield there that was just adhesive and it would hang like this, but it's since fallen off with the heat, so I've got to come up with something else. I may have to put a hook over on the side or something. I can figure something out, but for now I just set it on the dash. This basically has a 12 volt plug. Now this 12 volt plug I plug in right here, and I added this, and this is my fridge cord, so that's what I'm powering my fridge with right now because this stays hot all the time. I need to splice off of this and run it to the back or run a separate one for the fridge, but for now I don't use a CB too often, so I've just got the CB unplugged and I've got my refrigerator plugged in right there. Alright, so moving on to the back of the truck here. You guys remember I built a platform in here and I built the drawers. I do have my soft topper that comes down. I love my soft topper. There's the best top and then there's a soft topper. I've only had the soft topper, so I can't really speak about the best top, but I know Jesse Rizzo has the best top and he enjoys it. So if you're interested in getting a soft topper and want to learn about each one, check out his channel. But I love my soft topper. I've had it on for probably around a year now and it has not leaked one time. I keep this thing parked outside when it's raining, when it's at my office. I mean, it's poured and poured and poured when I'm driving on the road, and it has never once leaked any water whatsoever. So I like it. It can fold down easily. I did build these drawers and this platform for when I have the truck bed tent set up. So let me kind of show you those real quick. Now these drawers, I've got two of them, but I've got camping gear in here. I've got knives and lighters. I've got bug spray, just camping gear. I do have my tent back here, a little farther back. You can see these run the full length of the truck. So here's my right line tent. I've got some coveralls. I keep these in here if I need to go under a house for my job. Every once in a while I have to go under a house, so they're back here. I've got my hammock. I've got my my sleeping pads that I showed you, those Deer For Me sleeping pads. They're back here, but everything is in here, all my camping stuff. The other one here, this has all my food. Right now there's not too much in here, just a bunch of junk food, things like that. I've got plates and napkins, things like that. My stove is in here. there's that, my stove and everything. Like I said, food goes in here, pots and pans. A little further back, I've got my camp shovel. I've got butane. I got butane here for my camp stove. I've got propane for the camp stove. So I just keep all that back there. I don't have to get to the propane and the butane as often, so that stays back there. Let me show you real quick. When I do use the truck bed tent, I'm 5'6", so I'm not very tall, but the bed is only 5 feet deep, so my feet hang out the bed. So the way the tent is set up, it comes down to this tailgate, so I wanted to be able to use this space for my sleeping area. So I've got this on a hinge, and that just comes over, and that adds to the length of my bed, and I can lay down just fine. This is about 6 feet, maybe just over 6 feet, so that gives me plenty of room to sleep on. Alright guys, well that's pretty much it for the video. I apologize if this video is a little choppy or cut up, but it is just extremely hot out here today, and I've been procrastinating getting this video to you just because it's been so hot, and I haven't really felt like getting out and camping while it's so hot. But I wanted to make this video for you. Hope it's got some good information. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And remember, I'm selling those stickers. If you want a rubber Tramp Renegade sticker, there's a couple ways to order those. There's a link, there's several links in the description. There's a PayPal link. You can go to my website and get one. But if you're interested in one, just look in the description below, and I'd appreciate if you'd help me out, because I really would like to get that Jackery battery for the camper. But if you don't want one, that's fine, no big deal. No hard feelings. If I'm not going to be upset with you if you didn't help me get the Jackery. It's just something I want, and I thought that would be a good way to try to get some little extra spending money, is just to offer those stickers to you. But no hard feelings if you don't want one or don't want to buy one. It won't upset me at all. I'm just happy that you guys watch my channel and enjoy coming along with me. Once things cool off a little bit, I'll be getting out more. So thanks again for watching, and y'all have a good one. I'll catch you next time.